Welcome back, folks. B Shooter 94. We just finished Clash of Champions last week, and we are officially finished up with the summer of WCW 2002. I want to thank everybody for crushing the like goal and really being fantastic when it comes to really keeping this series alive. So thank you so much, everybody. Um, and we're in the last week of August. This is it. Right before we go into September, we got a few weeks before Fall Brawl hits. We're just going to give a quick recap of what happened at Clash of Champions. Chris Kanyon defeated Sting in an Iron Man match. The Steiner brothers were able to retain over the Militia. We had Booker T cheat to beat Rob Van Dam in that number one contenders match. We had Mike Awesome lose to Abyss due to Rhino, of all people, showing up and causing the distraction. Ken Shamrock was able to get the win over Kaz Hayashi. And we're moving forward. Oh, and of course, in the Texas Death Match, Dustin Rhodes beat Jeff Jarrett. And we're pushing through, guys. I just got to change one thing real quick. Abyss had to get his gimmick slightly changed, just because. Don't do that. Just because of some, said it was stale or whatever. So ignore that for right now. 69 rating on the hype package for the recap of Clash of Champions. We open the show with Booker T and Sharmell coming down to the ring, and he is obviously over the moon about the fact he's the number one contender for the WCW Championship facing Abyss at Fall Brawl. He says that Rob Van Dam is finally behind him, and that he is going to reclaim his WCW Championship. However, Rob Van Dam interrupts and says that the only reason why Booker T won last night was because of his wife Sharmell, and that he actually could not defeat him in a one-on-one match. 73 rating on that, and we get the general manager Paul Heyman comes out and announces big main event for next week. It's going to be Rob Van Dam versus Booker T. Booker T's already got his spot against Abyss, but to make sure Sharmell does not interfere, we will have a steel cage match next week on Monday Nitro between Booker T and Rob Van Dam, and if RVD wins, it'll be a three-way dance for the WCW Championship at Fall Brawl. RVD's obviously happy about this. Booker T's pissed off, obviously because he found a loophole to beat RVD last time, and now he's got to beat him again to keep it a singles match. Not sure if people like this booking situation, but I wanted to kind of be unpredictable at Clash of Champions and not just have RVD win. And this is a cool way, I think, to get to this story arc with the triple threat. So we'll see. Maybe, if RVD wins. And in our first bout of the evening, in a decent match, Billy Kidman defeats Frankie Kazarian 804 by pinfall with a shooting star press. Frankie of 55, Billy Kidman of 47. Frankie off his game, now disqualified to the match, 53 rating. Not much to really say here. Just a good opening match between the two mid-card, lower mid-card guys. I will say this. Kidman has been awful. Since I turned him and hoping that was going to do something. No, hasn't. So Kidman could be in some trouble. Kazarian's doing his job. He's doing a great job in the mid-card. No reason to really push him at the moment. But I have an idea for him going forward, so we'll see what happens there. We see Mike Awesome arriving to the building. Now, he's still the U.S. champion. He did lose to Abyss, but he's pissed. And you can tell as soon as he's walking into the building that he is very visibly upset. He doesn't say anything as we try to catch cameras to him, but he storms into the building. Alright, and in a decent match, the Steiners defeat the Nightbreed in 806. I don't know why this is a 2 out of 3 falls match, but whatever. Rick Steiner defeats Vampiro. In terms of in-ring work, Scott Steiner was head and shoulders above everybody. Rick Steiner a 50, Scotty an 80, Vampiro 64, Vampire Warrior 42. Storyline has advanced with the tag titles. Obviously, the Steiners have great chemistry, and they announcing quality to the match, 64 rating. Now, after the match, the Steiners grab the microphone, and they announce that at Fall Brawl, they want every tag team who thinks they deserve a shot to show up in tag team turmoil at Fall Brawl, as the Steiner brothers will be entering, and we will walk out as the WCW Tag Team Champions. Now, what is Tag Team Turmoil, you might ask? we are going to have as many teams as I possibly can put in with this game between our roster and potentially a couple developmentals, maybe a surprise, who knows, in Fall Brawl. And the Steiners, because they're champions, are going to be the last ones to enter. And whoever survives at the end is the WCW Tag Team Champion. So, look forward to that. 68 rating on that promo. Chris Kanyon comes down to the ring. Now, this is going to be a little controversial, but the crowd is cheering for him because he's finally earned the respect of the crowd. Now, booking purposes, I'm turning him babyface. Yes. Okay, I figured that, but that's fine. Turning him babyface because he's got the crowd's respect now after beating Sting. I feel like I've done everything I possibly can with him as a heel at the moment. He's faced everybody. So, it's time to turn Kanyon face, see what we can do with it. I have an idea going forward into the fall. Had an idea for a Starrcade match, but that's all depending on certain things. So, I think this is a good change, and Chris Kanyon's promo is saying thank you to Sting. He's really, being a babyface here, not really being a douchey heel. The crowd's obviously cheering for him, and he gets interrupted, because, that's how it works, by Jamie Noble. Noble interrupts him and challenges him to a match right now, which is fine. We're going to handle this. He's got to get his gimmick slightly changed. Okay, cool. And we have a singles bout between Jamie Noble and Chris Kanyon, as Chris Kanyon, for the first time, is wrestling as a babyface in the save. And as you can see, the Chris Kanyon-Jamie Noble storyline has started. So, we're doing something there for the fall here. Okay. And in a good match, Chris Kanyon defeats Jamie Noble in 12:47 by pinfall with a flatliner. Chris Kanyon is 69, Noble is 68. Storyline has advanced and gained heat. The match got the crowd hotter, and Canyon's already getting better at his gimmick. So we're getting there. I think this is the way we need to go here. 66 rating. Stay tuned to see how that storyline is going to progress. But this is going to be a good little thing for Jamie Noble, because now he's going to be featured a little bit more, and he's someone I really want to do some stuff with. So looking forward to that. Backstage, Shane Douglas is kind of demanding Bam Bam Bigelow get back on their winning ways, and he tells him that they're entering tag team turmoil at Fall Brawl, whether he likes it or not, and that they're going to win and become the tag team champions again. Bam Bam Bigelow doesn't love the idea, but he said he's in, and they're going to go for the tag team championships at Tag Team Turmoil. So the first team has entered. 16, or second team, Steiner Brothers are already in it. 69 rating on that quick little promo, and the storyline gained heat. But they get interrupted as AMW walks up to them and also says that they are entering Tag Team Turmoil. And Shane Douglas says, "We don't even know who you pipsqueaks are, and you guys want to join in on this Tag Team Turmoil? You don't deserve to be in the ring with us." And James Storm and Chris Harris rebuttal. And the match is going to happen next between America's Most Wanted, Shane, and Bam Bam Bigelow. 68 on the backstage promo. Man, okay. And about to have decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. America's Most Wanted defeats Shane Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow in 9:47, and Chris Harris and Shane Douglas with a fast roll-up. In terms of in-ring work, Shane Douglas was head and shoulders by everybody else. Bam Bam a 47, Shane a 61, Storm a 35, Harris a 40. James Storm benefited from having a hot new move. 48 rating on the match. Very disappointing, but it is what it is. But we're getting there. We're trying to elongate our tag team division to the best of our ability. We now have a third team that has entered Tag Team Turmoil. The America's Most Wanted joining in on the fun. Kevin Nash is cutting a promo backstage as Rey Mysterio walks up to him and wants his match against Kevin. And Kevin says that he still won't fight Mysterio. He doesn't fight people under 6 feet tall. Mysterio really lays into him, and Nash finally agrees to the match. Next week, we have Kevin Nash facing off against Rey Mysterio. This has been a slow build to their feud, in my opinion. I didn't have the match at Clash because I felt like that was rushing it. But we're on a collision course for these two guys moving forward. So looking forward to that match next week. 74 on the promo. In and about that had great heat and decent wrestling. Abyss defeats Diamond Dallas Page in 7:58 by pinfall with a black hole slam. Abyss is 73, Page of 50. Announcing quality got the match, lifted the match, and the match got the crowd hotter. 66 rating. Not much to say here. Just wanted to get Abyss another TV win, and DDP does the perfect job here of making Abyss look like a monster. So, all goods. All good there. We're in Heyman's office, back from commercial. And Awesome storms in, pissed off about what Rhino did to him last night. And Heyman tells him, look, this is the land of opportunity. You gotta understand, Rhino took the chance. Yeah, you don't agree with it, I don't agree with it. You know, fans don't like it. But do something about it. Don't just talk to me, go do something about it. 62 rating on the promo. Heyman improvised well and the storyline advanced. And about that had decent ratings from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Ken Shamrock defeats Maven in 7-11 by pinfall. Shamrock a 60, Maven a 36. Announcing quality lifted the match, 52 overall on the rating. Shamrock, I wanted to get a win, and I wanted to see how Maven would do. Not really ready yet, which is okay. Just to see what he would kind of do on the main roster. Haven't really decided if he's just going to be a developmental guy for me for the save or not, but he is not ready to really do much on the main roster. Mike Awesome comes down to the ring and demands Rhino come out. And Rhino shows up on the Titantron and says, you know, nothing was personal on Sunday, but he's like, I had to make my statement. I had to make sure that you saw the threat that was coming for the U.S. Championship. You know, and you know what? You should be happy that I showed up and didn't screw you out of any title matches. So, as I stand here, Mike Awesome, I want the U.S. Championship. I don't care what I have to do to get it. And Mike Awesome cuts him off and he says, yeah, well, let's do it next week. U.S. title, right now. And Rhino goes, no, we're not going to do it next week. But we'll do it at Fall Brawl. And we'll have you versus me for that U.S. title. And Mike Awesome obviously is kind of irate, but happy that he's finally getting the match. But we have a Fall Brawl match booked for the U.S. title between Awesome and Rhino. And we'll see kind of how that goes. I'm hoping that doesn't suck. But we'll see what happens. 68 rating on that whole little segment there. And in our main event of the evening, and about to hit fantastic heat and great wrestling. Rob Van Dam defeats Mark Jindrak in 12:30 by disqualification when Booker T interferes. RVD at 91, Jindrak is 61-81 on the match. So our TV champion doesn't take a loss here, but neither does Rob Van Dam. In our post-match, Booker T beats down Rob Van Dam to end the show. 70 rating on that. Storylines have advanced, and we're really pushing hard for that steel cage match next week between Booker T and Rob Van Dam. Remember, if RVD wins, he does get a shot at Booker T and Abyss at Fall Brawl. If he loses, it's still a singles bout. Let's see who we get for a show rating here. I'm expecting kind of low, to be honest. Oh, 75. We increased popularity in 17 regions. Hell yeah. I would like to also point out, this was our debut episode on MTV. We have left the USA Network. MTV is much bigger. So, very happy with that. 75 is incredible. Very happy. And next Sunday, we're going to have another Nitro. So, hopefully you guys are still enjoying the ride. Hopefully you're checking out the other content with the MLB The Show stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying that. Appreciate you guys. Let's keep this like goal going. Let's shoot for 7 likes on the next video. And I'll see you guys next Sunday.